boys and girls, and welcome to another edition of ROX TV, only on ROX Network. We've got a complete exclusive for you this evening. We went behind the scenes yesterday while The Dark of My Horizon recorded their brand new video for their song Sleeze at Dirty Rockers in Dudley. And they allowed us to go wherever we wanted to and talk to the band, and we've got an exclusive interview with guitarist and vocalist Paul Stead. He'll be telling us all about the song and what it means to him and about the album itself. So anyway, the new song will be out as soon as possible, I assume, as soon as the video is made, and check it out. Meantime, the band are going to be playing live, yes, a concert, boys and girls, at the Vic in Leicester. So we believe it's sold out, but if you ask very, very nicely, you might just fall lucky and get one of these golden tickets that might let you go and see a live concert and make your ears ring once more, and who doesn't want that? So anyway, the new song is called Sleeze, and it's from the album Seize the Day by The Dark of My Horizon. Let's go behind the scenes and see how the video was made. Dirty Rockers. Why are we here?
Well, we, as the Dark of My Horizon, have a gig booked for the end of October, and obviously we're hoping that it can go ahead. But what we really appreciated, in a very difficult time for venues, the guys here at Dirty Rockers didn't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They made changes to the venue, they made it look smarter, they extended the stage, they kept people apprised of what they were doing. And we thought, as we've got a gig here, they're a great team, it would be nice if we can come and film our new video. And they let us use the place, and we're going to feature them as much in the video as humanly possible. So a little bit of promotion, quid pro quo.
Fair enough. Tell us about the video. Is this for Sleeze?
This is for Sleeze. So this is the opening track on Seize the Day, our latest album, and we wouldn't necessarily, I don't think, release this next, but it's the easiest of the videos to do for the songs that we have planned to do videos for. We want to do one for Mum and Dad and for my son, but both are going to be a little bit more intricate and a lot more stuff going on in the videos. This is a little bit more straightforward about the journey to the venue, and then of course about rocking the venue.
Yeah, this is a heavier song.
Yes. And truthfully, actually, after Dear Olivia Acoustic and Carpe Diem, the other reason we've chosen this next is to do something a bit more rocky and heavier after a couple of slower ones.
Yeah, some really seriously heavy riffs in it. I've seen the sort of live last year, didn't you? A couple of shows, you've been trying the song out at different gigs. I can't remember what venue it was, but I know you haven't done it before.
We've played this, yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
We've played this possibly 2 years before the album.
Yeah.
It's the only song from Seize the Day that we whipped out years ago, and it's because originally Seize the Day was going to be released a year earlier than it was. But due to lineup changes, always drummers. We are literally the spinal tap of
He's not going to explode,
drummers.
is he?
He's not, but that would make for some good pyrotechnics, without a shadow of a doubt. No, we want to keep this one.
If he does, I'll get it on film.
Yes, oh, thank you very much. We want to keep this one, he is superb. So, the trouble is, lineup changes, even when it's absolutely friendly and people have to leave because of time constraints or just life getting in the way, it does slow bands down. Like any business, like anything, you get to a point and you've got to start again. And so Seize the Day got put back a year, but we continued, yes, to play Sleeze.
Yeah. It's a bit early days yet, I suppose, but what live shows would you be hoping to do? It's going to be next year, I suppose, realistically, isn't it?
Well, as you can imagine, like all bands and artists and venues, we had about 20 gigs booked from March until, I suppose, realistically next month. And we've had to cancel nearly all of them. The only good thing that's come out of everything, and this is again for most festivals and most bands, is that nearly every festival has moved the exact same lineup to next year. So everything that we were due to play, so Brewood Festival, Withensea, Breaking Bands, Dementia Fest, all of these, we're playing the same billing next year. But there was, of course, at least a dozen club shows that we were headlining that we've had to postpone or move to next year.
Has this had quite a major impact on you financially?
Do you know what? We are very lucky because we have our own recording gear, and that is for any band the biggest expense if you're an original band and you choose to record. So lockdown has allowed me to record or start the recording of a new EP. All the guys are now going through adding their bits now. And we've also, during lockdown, again because we have the master tapes and we have the ability to fiddle, we've re-released No Superhero and Phoenix Volume 1, remixed, remastered, repackaged, and I've done a lot of live streams throughout the pandemic, and because of our incredible fan base, and I hate the word fan, but because of our wonderful support, we've had live virtual tip jars that people have been incredibly generous in giving. We've sold an obscene amount of merchandise, and because we have managed to remix those two releases, we've continued selling a product.
That's great.
So we've been one of the lucky ones in my eyes, and we don't take it for granted.
Great stuff. You play guitar as well in the band?
Yes.
Which gives you that dual guitar heaviness when you need it. Who gets to decide who does the solos? Are you more the rhythm guy, or...?
The best way to describe the whole of this band is I'm a songwriter and the rest of the guys are musicians. So from an ego perspective, there's no clashes over who wants to write what, who wants to do what. In terms of the two guitars, I'm the meat and Mark's the gravy. So I'm the rhythm man and he is the lead guitarist.
Yeah.
And he kicks my ass as a lead guitarist. Like most lead guitarists, they're a little bit sloppy on the rhythm front. This is all of them. This is Slash, Steve Vai, everyone. They like their fast stuff and they're great at that and the feel, but when it comes to rhythm, it's a bit less perfect.
It is. I mean, I'm a guitarist myself, so it's very difficult.
Yes.
To be, you've got to be one
or the other.
Yeah.
And so we always describe it as I'm the meat and Mark's the gravy. He really does add a great deal of sexiness to the riffs.
Yeah, I mean, he's one hell of a player.
Yeah, he's super.
Did I suppose a Schecter around your neck?
I've got with me an Ibanez. I have
You've got to let me see
2 Schecters. And I've got an ESP, Fender, an Aria Pro. Oh, I've got another Ibanez as well. Mark's got numerous Ibanezes and he's got the same model ESP as me, except a different colour. We were for many years very much an Ibanez band, but we love the Evertune facility that seems to be on a bit more limited versions, and so we both got one of those so we don't have to tune as much. I'm very lazy, proper singer.
Have you tried contacting Ibanez, see if you can get any kind of sponsorship for them?
Do you know what, we haven't, and lots of people say contact Blackstar, contact this drum stick manufacturer. Let me tell you, endorsements,
it's hard.
It's hard, and do you know what? It's just an ego stroke. You have to buy the gear. You get it at a reduced price. They don't just suddenly start delivering loads of freebies to you. And we're not up our own arses. You know, my favourite guitar is the one that's going to be in this video. I bought it off eBay, second hand, £150, including a hard case. It was never released here. It's a Japanese only white. And it's the cheapest guitar I've ever bought. It's my favourite. I couldn't care less what people think we buy, play, endorsed by. Just not interested in that. That's really just for people who want their ego stroked.
Fair enough. Like you said, there's so many of the young bands now, the young musicians, that seems to be their time focus. The signature guitar, the signature drum heads. The music comes next.
Yes.
After endorsements and adverts, I mean, I can mention names. That seems to be their sole focus these days. The model. This is my guitar. And you think, well, great, we haven't released anything in 5 years.
There's also another reason actually that I am not too fussed about being endorsed. I wouldn't buy a signature guitar.
No.
I don't want to be someone else. I don't necessarily want to sound like someone else. John Sykes is my favourite guitarist. If I'm going to sound like John Sykes, I need a £6,000 Gibson from the 70s, and I'm going to need amps that I simply can't afford, and even with endorsements I couldn't afford. So I'm just not fussed. I'm happy with the setup that we've got.
You mentioned John Sykes, who is a legend.
Oh yes.
Who else would you cite as an influence musically?
My biggest influence is, he's not around anymore, but I got the chance to both meet him and talk to him on MySpace many years ago, but I met him at a show in America, and it's Jamie Lane from Warrant. The man had a stage presence that was just, he made it look easy, and he had a wonderful range, and he's an unbelievably good songwriter. And going back to what you said about Sleeze being quite heavy, still very melodic.
It is, yeah.
And Jamie Lane is my biggest influence for that. I've never known anyone that can write such a heavy song, but it's still essentially a pop song, because the vocal melody is just ear-catchingly gorgeous.
Just got a text
My
message.
favourite.
And there's a puss on there.
Yeah, we've got a black cat.
I'm a fan of the cats. Yeah, so Jamie Lane, in terms of modern, I'm a big Nickelback fan, and they're another band that, despite the songs that I would say the majority of people know. They're quite heavy, but they're another band that also managed to write incredibly catchy melodies and still be very rocky. But John Sykes, my favourite guitarist, Jamie Lane, my favourite singer. I also love Red Beach. He's got a wonderful guitar sound as well. He's wonderful. And I saw Winger playing in Portsmouth, I don't know, 10 years ago now, I suppose. And his on-stage presence wasn't anything like his pictures suggested he was. He was full of smiles, he was beaming, he was enjoying himself. And I thought, here's a guy that sold millions of records, and he's up there and he's genuinely still enjoying himself.
He does, yeah.
You know, and it wasn't a glamorous venue, it was a big venue, but it wasn't glamorous. So Red Beach is another one. As I say, Nickelback, Jamie Lane, George Lynch for a long time was a massive influence as well. In fact, I learned playing the guitar with a Dokken tablature book. So early on, my biggest influence as a guitar player, because the riffs were easy, was George Lynch.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time. We look forward to seeing the video being made, and we'll be taking some photos and video clips.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you. No, well, that's absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for the coverage.
Thank you.
And we look forward to seeing you at a gig when all this madness is over.
We saw you. My husband and I saw you. It's going to be about 3 years ago, maybe at least.
Where was it?
Local. As soon as I said your name, my husband went, "We've seen them."
Wasn't that the other venue in town?
The Robin.
No. Oh, we played Robin.
Yeah. It was with 3 other bands, I'm sure it was. I don't know if it was the acoustic gig that Russell set up.
Well, I headlined that one. We headlined that. Yes.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed that, and that was obviously an acoustic gig.
Which you're very at home with.
Yes, well, because as a songwriter, you enjoy the smoke, you enjoy the lights, you enjoy all of that. But as a songwriter, I like to tell you stories. So I love playing acoustic because you're not competing with guitar players and drummers. You're just allowing your stories to be told. So I love playing acoustic. Yes. Oh, well, that's wonderful. In that case, we look forward to seeing you at a proper full band show.
Absolutely. See you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll let you carry on.
Cool. Is that all right?
Yeah, fantastic.
Brilliant.
Thank you. Excellent.
Really good. I mean, we've been lucky. We have been lucky, this summer.